Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Struther.
I'm Sean Spencer. All right, we have got to move on. You guys watch these games, and we're going to dive into it. The scoreboard of this past week. As we knew, let's start on the Thursday night game. Janae, another one of the teams in our division, took an L, which is beautiful. So it wasn't just us. The New York Giants now go 1-2, losing 30-12 to the San Francisco 49ers. Janae, we were live. Or no, you guys were live when it started.
Yep.
It was 3-3. It was like, oh, maybe the Giants were going to do something. Nah. Nope.
Didn't last long. They got too many power weapons on the offense. It just was not clicking at all. They didn't beat them like we beat them, but, they did beat them.
Oh, my God. How long are you going to live in week one, Janae?
As long as I can, baby. As long as I can.
I understand. I get it. Hey, Brock Purdy did his thing. Shout out to him. Debo balled out. I had him on my fantasy team. That was definitely good.
Yes.
But look, at the end of the day, the Giants didn't have Saquon. Okay, so we know what kind of that thing that is. But they had absolutely no running game. They didn't even they had 11 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown, Janae. They can't run the ball.
Yeah. It was bad. I ain't even going to lie. It was bad.
Yeah, it didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. Moving on to the Sunday games, the first one, hey, you talked about your boy that's no longer in Dallas, Mr. Kellen Moore, and he just continues to put up numbers. He continues to get that Chargers offense going. They beat the Vikings 28-24, and Justin Herbert, Kellen Moore, that's a match made in heaven right there.
Here we go. The Vikings almost pulled it off. The Vikings but they gave away the game again. God. Vikings, you let me down, man.
We talked about that one-score game.
You pulled the Dak Prescott. So,
wow.
It is what it is. It is what it is. End of the game, interception. It is what it is.
Wow.
It is what it is. It is.
But hey, shout out to Justin Herbert, 40 of 47, 405 yards, 3 TDs. You got Keenan Allen with 18 receptions for 215 yards. Come on, man. He gets 12 yards of reception. What? They balled out. But like you said, there was an opportunity. The Vikings had like an interception that they dropped that ended up turning into a touchdown. So Minnesota, man, they get out of their own way.
But that's what I'm saying. Kirk Cousins, 367 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, Sean.
Yeah.
Kirk had 3 touchdowns. Vikings lost that game. Y'all know it. They literally gave the Chargers the game. The Chargers, the defense was able to make a stop. They got him back with enough time and still lost the game. They had 2 opportunities.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Sounds like another team that I watched that day. But both games, yeah.
Actually, real quick, I want to go back to this. Delilah was there. They're saying all the ladies called San Francisco to win, and they zoomed in on Danny Dimes' face, and he was just
choking.
He's like, "What is going on?"
Shook it.
That's a great word.
We got to get on to another game that was on, which was the Falcons and the Lions. The Lions were able to shut out Atlanta 20-6. My God, I mean, could you ask for anything better than the Lions just cooking? I mean, and Jared Goff didn't even have to do much. He only scored 1 touchdown and he had an interception. But when you got some dynamic players around you can make it happen. And he did. He definitely made it happen. Sam Laporta, 8 receptions, 84 yards with 1 touchdown. The team did what they needed to do. And it looks like Riddler is not working. It's like exciting. It gives you like a Sam Howell feel. I could try to come back, but it let you down.
Listen, first and foremost, we're not comparing Ritter to Sam Howell. Okay, Sam Howell is far better. Okay, let's start there first.
Far better.
The gap. I want to show you the gap. See how it's stretching? Yeah, far better.
Green Bay.
You see what it is? They got lucky. Green Bay gave up that game. Okay. Yo, but the story of this game, and shout out to, I think that's Katie saying this, the story of this game was that defense. That defense got to Ritter 7 times, sacked this man 7 times, had like 7 QB hits or tackles for loss. That defense is the truth. Brian Branch, the rookie from Alabama, had 11 solo tackles with 3 tackles for loss and 2 passes defended. That's defense for Detroit is showing up. I love that.
That's it. Absolutely. They definitely are showing up. Shout out to Detroit. They winning games, Sean. The Lions fans, they don't have any bags over their heads. They are winning games. They have a defense.
It's a new year. Let's go. Let's go, Detroit.
We got to get to a nail-biter game, Sean. We had the Green Bay Packers versus the Saints, 18-17 in a nail-biter game. I cannot believe Green Bay was able to come back, but they did have an injury, Sean. Derek Carr is out. He was out for the game. He got injured. Do you think that was a factor in the fact that, because Jameis Winston did the best that he could, but it wasn't a Derek Carr field?
No, it wasn't. And look, and the crazy part about it, I got a buddy out here that's from New Orleans, diehard Saints fan, and he said he looked at the score and he saw it was 17-0, and he said, "Oh, this game's over. I'm good." And then all of a sudden he looks at the score at the end. He said, 18-17? What? What is happening? But at the end of the day, the Saints had an opportunity to win the game with a field goal at the end, and they couldn't get it done. So
they were ahead, and the kicker. Oh, I know they were sad about the kicker because he had an opportunity to close it out and just didn't do it, man. But shout out to Green Bay. They were literally going to lose their first home game, and they said it was 10 years consecutive that they won their first home opener, and they were super close to not making it happen. But they are 11 years straight of winning their first home game. Shout out to Green Bay. Cannot believe it. You shocked the world, but you did it.
It's week 3. It's week 3. We'll see what if there's any love for Jordan a little bit later in the season. But hey, he got it done. He got it done.
All right. An unexpected blowout, which I did not expect, Sean. I don't know if you expected it, but it looks like the Texans were able to dominate over the Jacksonville Jaguars 37-17. CJ Stroud, 280 yards with 2 touchdowns. The man said, "Not up in here. I'm going to come into your house and I'm going to take your candy and I'm going to leave."
I love that. Good. I love that because, look, I'm not going to lie. A lot of people were talking at the beginning of the season, the first preseason game, CJ Stroud's not the answer. Get him out of there. He's got the talent. He was a number 1 overall pick for a reason. The guy's mobile. He can throw the ball around. But you know what? You got to shout out the rest of that team. Tank Dell getting $149 in the air and a touch, receiving for $149. I mean, that defense was showing up, man. 72 total tackles all around. Like, they were all around the ball, balling, doing big things, getting
absolutely
interception. You know what I mean? So shout out to Houston, man. My question to you, Janae, as you look on the other side to this, a lot of us included, had Jacksonville very high up there.
Absolutely.
What in the world?
I am shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. I did not expect this. I did not expect that the Jacksonville Jaguars is going to come out like this. I mean, it just shocks me. But I also shout out to the Texans, man. They doing it. They had a great game. I'm not going to take nothing for them, but that's crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I mean, if you look at the numbers, Trevor Lawrence had almost 300 yards in the air, 1 touchdown. Etienne had almost 100 yards on the ground. These guys were moving the ball. You got those interceptions. You got fumbles. You got things that are prohibiting them from being able to succeed. And this is a divisional game. You know what I mean? And as you said, some divisional games are blowouts, like what's going to happen to Dallas when they play Washington this year.
You know what? If God decides to come back, then I don't know, okay? But only when God decides to come back. But you know what? We talked about this game, which was a blowout. I mean, Miami 70, the Broncos 20. I mean,
there it is.
There it is. I mean,
you can't. What can you say? Just go to next. I'm not going to do that to the Broncos anymore.
Next.
I'm not.
We're done harping on the Broncos, but we will talk about another blowout, which was crazy. 27 Cleveland to Tennessee Titans 3.
Right.
What was that?
I mean, no Nick Chubb, and still the Titans get stomped like that? Ooh, maybe the Titans are who we thought they were. You know,
it did not look good. It did not look good at all, bro. It did not look good. I can't even justify them. It just looked really, really, really bad. Ryan Tannehill, no touchdowns, 104 yards in the whole entire game. Derrick Henry, 11 carries, 20 yards.
What?
Wow. Wow. I mean, the defense, Browns defense are really good.
People really need to stop sleeping on that defense. We know how dominant Myles Garrett is and how balling out, but they had 5 sacks. You know what I mean? They had 9 tackles for losses. This Browns defense is what's sustaining this team. And you know what, Janae? Obviously, we don't condone his off-the-field actions, but as far as on the field, we got to show Deshaun Watson some love, man. Another game of almost 300 yards.
Back in the groove.
Right.
Getting back in the groove.
He's getting it done. And on the field, as a player, he can do it. Now, what he does after and how he relaxes and massages, well, that's on him. But on the field, watch out. Watch out.
Watch out. There is another game that we're going to go ahead and skip.
Wait. Real quick. Check this out. We got an early to Zach make me crazy. Oh, Jerome Ford's performance yesterday. Is this the end of Chubb in Cleveland?
Oh, they be saving some money. Definitely saving some money. I like that. That's a good. Does that make me crazy? Love it.
Wow.
Love it. I don't think
I see you. I see you. No, not at all. I love that.
Sean, we got to skip a game. We do have to skip a game because we already talked about your losing Bills versus the Washington. 37.
You know what? Hold up.
37 to 3.
You know, you're getting a little bit too much joy out of this. All right.
37. Ooh, looks like Latavius Murray just ran all over y'all. Ooh.
Janae. We gave up 9 sacks, Janae. 9 sacks, Janae. We gave up 9 sacks and 4 interceptions, Janae. Can we move on, please?
All right, that's their game. Absolutely. All right, another nail biter, Sean, which I thought was crazy. I definitely think that me and you both were leaning a certain way, but it looks like the Baltimore Ravens came to a loss against the Indianapolis Colts.
What? I'm glad I didn't bet on this one because I certainly would not have bet the way that this went.
Man.
I can't explain this one at all.
Lamar had no
Anthony Richardson didn't even play. None.
No touchdowns. Lamar had no touchdowns. No throwing touchdowns. He had rushing touchdowns, but no throwing touchdowns.
Yeah, he had over 100 on the ground. We know that, but I mean, come on. I mean, I won't go say it, but he was that.
Didn't we talk about that being the problem?
Yeah.
He can't be the running back only. He's got to be
the
quarterback and the running back.
Right.
It's too much on one team, and I think that the Colts, they were able to pull it off in overtime, and stings, but they got it.
This one's going to hurt the Ravens later on in the year. I mean, shout out to Gardner Minshew, who's a pro in this league. He can get it done. He showed he was over 220 yards and a touchdown. But shout out to Zach Moss, the ex-Buffalo Bill, coming out 30 carries, over 120 on the ground. The Colts had a game plan. Run the ball, limit the mistakes, and just get the ball, keep the other offense off the field. That's interesting. That seems to be a game plan that works against a good team. Maybe Ron and EB, y'all should listen to them. Flipping 4 interceptions because you're throwing the ball 800 times a game. Can we run the ball? Sorry about that.
But you digress.
Thank you. Just need to get that one out there. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, man. Sean, there was another game that was played, and it was also played in New York. It looks like the Patriots were able to win against the Jets 15-10.
Who coaches the Patriots again?
Bill Belichick.
Oh, so he won another game. Interesting. Okay. Playoffs. Can we say playoffs anytime soon? Because I see it coming.
We can't.
I see it coming.
We can't.
I see it coming.
I think you should settle down. I think you should settle down off of Mac Jones'
I think we see playoffs.
Touchdown. I think
Let's go.
Settle down off of his one touchdown. But it's okay. They were able to pull it off against the Jets. The Jets looked like they were going to try to come back and try to do this thing. Zach Wilson seemed like he was in it. The defense looked like they were playing. But
it's just taking too long. Yeah, Zach. He's not doing enough. You got all of these running backs here: Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, but both of them got 18 yards apiece. You spend all this money, you get these guys in here, you got to get it done. Like, this is not working.
Absolutely.
And it's a shame to see the Jets this bad, because we all thought if they had Aaron Rodgers, well, then playoffs. But now it's like, maybe not even with Aaron Rodgers.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know what. I don't know. Jesus would have to suit up and get out there on the court to make this team good. He would have to, man. But there's another team, Sean. We got to get on to another game. A team where I thought could possibly keep up with this other team, but it looks like they're going to go 0-3, 27 Carolina Panthers to 37. The Seattle Seahawks were able to just
And another game where the winning team runs the ball. Runs the ball. Kenneth Walker, 2 TDs. Why does everybody else in the league? Why does everybody else in the league know how to run the ball but us?
I'm sorry, Sean. Crip walked on him, but the defense, Sean. The defense did a great job in the game. The defense did a great job.
And see, that's something I think a lot of people are overlooking, is that Seattle defense can come to play. And when they do, they can back up Geno. Geno had almost 300 yards in the air. So if that defense can sit here and give him more drives, this is great. That's what they want. But I think the question also with this is, Seattle, we saw how good they made the playoffs last year. So we saw they got some pieces, and they're, maybe 1 or 2 pieces away from really being a solid contender. But if you look at the other side, Carolina gets that pick, that number 1 pick. And it's like, Bryce, obviously we know Bryce Young is out. So Andy Dalton, I know you're familiar with Andy Dalton. He came in here with over 350 yards and 2 TDs. And it's great. They had a little bit of an offense, but no run game and just nothing. It's a struggle.
Miles Sanders had 9 carries, 24 yards with a touchdown. 24 yards. That is not going to help anybody's offense.
It's not winning football.
Ooh.
I think they had under 50 as a team. Good.
Oh, yeah. Yes. We got to get to it. We got to get to the game that had celebrities showing up.
To make
the audience go crazy.
Wow.
It looks like the Kansas City Chiefs were able to beat down, per se. I don't even know what you could say. Slaughter the Chicago Bears. Oh, man, it looks like 41-10 as Sean was sitting there in Chicago.
Yeah.
He was mourning his team. He was also mourning Chicago, taking a huge lump.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Oh, yes. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, the Cubs made the playoffs. So the baseball team is doing pretty decent this year. So they still have that. They definitely still have that. But the other thing I'll say, Janae, is one of the things that Chicago is known for is being a socially, they love to drink. They love their beers, their alcohol, and everything. Chicago was drunk yesterday because with the Cubs winning, and then this game, I mean, the score doesn't do it justice. This game was over by the first quarter. At halftime, it was something like 34-0. Justin Fields looked atrocious in this game. The line was bad. The receivers looked like they were jogging in their routes. This thing has imploded in Chicago. And this, I'm sorry to say, Delilah and Nick, is why I said last week, y'all are done. I hate it, but let's go for that number one pick and let's move on to 2024. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It was ugly.
It's like that.
Ugly. It was ugly.
It was ugly, but I think there was a little bit of inspiration because, up in the stands, they had Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Yelling and rooting for her alleged boo.
Boo, baby.
But it looked like they were sitting next to the mom, and as me and Sean were noticing, she didn't look too happy with Taylor.
No.
There was some glimpses, but I don't think that's his first choice for his girl, his boy. So,
they didn't seem too chummy.
Hey, whatever brings you luck in the house, they look good. It looked like they were coming back from the Kansas City Chiefs when we were a little worried about what was going to happen. Hey, can't beat it. 272 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns. Patty Mahomes was on fire. Man, Pacheco got some. Edwards-Helaire got some. It's just, Kelsey got some. It's just, I think they did their thing. I think they should feel good. We could get on this other game, but we already talked about it as well. The Cowboys lose, and you heard it right. The Cowboys did lose. 28-16, Cardinals won. It
was beautiful.
We did dive into it earlier.
Yeah, and matter of fact, we had some LTF people there. Let's bring that one back up. You see David and Ash on the bottom.
Shout out to David Ash, man. Sticking to them like troops, man. That's what I'm talking about. You got to do what you got to do for your team. We will come back. We will reign again. We will reign again. We will.
Well, I don't know about all that.